What's up guys, Ghost here, and here we are back looking at some of the new features and changes coming in Battlefield 4. In the previous video we looked at things like netcode changes, ammo changes, squad changes, suppression, levolution, water, vehicles, all that kind of thing. If you want to go check out that, what's changed in those regards, then you can click the annotation on the screen now and it will take you to that video. But we are going to be covering all of the kit changes to different classes and the customization. So one of the biggest changes that they've actually made to the class customization here is the way you can select gadgets. Now previously you had two separate lists of gadgets and you could select one gadget from each list. So for example, take the engineer, you had your number 4 key, which was like your second gadget. You could take the repair tool, or you could take the mines, and I think it's the EOD bot. But now in Battlefield 4, you only have one list, so all the gadgets are in the same list, and you can select any two of those gadgets as far as I know. So you can select the repair tool and the mines if you would want. Or you can, I think at least, you should be able to go for the RPG and the Stinger. So that is really nice. That's allowing players to change up their gadgets however they want. I'm not sure how that's going to work with the balance of the game, but I suppose that's just something we'll find out once beta starts. Another thing they've done just to make it easier on us when selecting our weapons is they have grouped the different categories of weapons together. So you can simply flip through the categories from, if you're playing as an engineer, they now have carbines available to them, they have shotguns and PDWs just like in Battlefield 3, but instead of having to, find that gun either from a big grid or flicking constantly through an arrow through like 50 different weapons, you can just go to the category of PDWs, or you can go to carbines, and then you can find your weapon within that category. On a similar level, all the optical sights for the weapons have been grouped as well, so they're now grouped for close range, and I think also medium and long range. So you can simply go under that category, you can see which optical sights are good for close range. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. Red dot sight, holographic sight maybe for like medium range, and then the more powerful optical sights for longer ranges. But I guess it's, something that's a bit foolproof. It's maybe not needed. I mean, there isn't that many optical sights in Battlefield 3. Maybe they're going to bump it up, the number of optical sights in Battlefield 4, but either way, it's a nice touch. There's also going to be a couple of new types of grenade coming in. So there's going to be flashbang grenades and incendiary grenades to accompany the good old frag grenade there. That's going to be interesting. I'm especially looking forward to trying out those flash grenades in close quarters situations. I can imagine that being pretty game-changing. The incendiary grenade, no real idea how that's going to work out. I've used these kinds of grenades in various different games, and they've been good or not so good to varying degrees. So that's really going to be something we're going to have to see, the sort of blast radius of it, how much damage it actually does, whether it has a burn effect. I'm thinking it's going to leave a pool of fire to act as sort of an obstacle. So that's my guess, at least, that it will do less damage than a frag grenade, but it will leave some sort of a hazardous obstacle for the enemy team in the way. Pistols are now getting full customization. So gone are the days of just randomly having pistols that some have a scope, some have a silencer, some have nothing at all. That's gone now. You're going to be able to fully customize a pistol with whichever optical sight you like, and as far as I know, with silencers and other goodies as well. Ammo and medkits have seen significant changes. You have the good old ammo and medkits that you can throw down and everybody scurries over to you and gets healed or gets ammo, but they also have what they're calling med packs and ammo packs, I believe. And essentially what this is instead of throwing a crate down on the floor and players have to sort of come over to you, you can actually throw one of these packs to another player, and I think it sort of either A, sticks to the player and they will regenerate health, or they will gain ammo over time, or they get sort of an instant boost of health, like whether it will be, I don't know, something like 25 hit points. And you can actually equip both of these. I have seen players running around, assault players running around with both the med kit and the med packs equipped, so that's something quite interesting there. You can be, like a crazy heal bot. I haven't actually seen the defibrillator on the assault class, but DICE have stated that they haven't finished fine tweaking the gadgets and not even all of the gadgets aren't even available yet, so I'm not going to speculate about that until we know for sure what the final outcome is going to be. But yeah, I think that's a really nice idea. You know, everyone's been in that situation where you throw down a med kit for people, and they just, at the exact same time you throw it down, they just leg it away from you. They run away and completely don't use it at all. Or likewise, you're running around hitting Q on a medic, trying to get him to heal you, and he just like doesn't care or doesn't see you. Or you have to get out of your cover in order to go over to him and get a med kit. I'm not sure what the range of these med packs thrown is going to be, whether it's going to be from quite a range. I'm guessing it's going to be just a close range thing, as it is with med packs, med kits at the moment. But either way, a very nice addition there. So the first class that I want to talk about is definitely the Recon class, and that's because they have had the most radical changes. A lot of people complained in Battlefield 3 that the Recon class was simply underpowered, and it was hard to play the sort of run and gun Recon style that you could in Bad Company 2. You had great gadgets available to you then in that game. You had the motion balls, you had C4, you had I really can't remember the name of it, but it was some sort of a scanner, and you could call in an artillery strike on enemy armor and enemy positions. That was really good. And I remember playing with the VSS, was it? You know, which was silence. It's very similar to the AS-Val, and running around with that kind of a kit setup, it was really, really fun. So I'm really happy to see what they're doing with the Recon class. Recon are getting C4, although I believe that C4 may also be available to support. I'm not 100% on that one. I remember maybe hearing a rumor about that somewhere, but it's definitely available to Recon. And they are also getting the motion balls back. Now, for anyone who didn't actually play Bad Company 2, effectively what these motion mines or motion balls or whatever you want to call them are, they act exactly the same way as the tugs. But instead of having to put it down on the floor or, you know, with the MAV, you have to actually remote control it and fly it into an area. They're just like small balls that you can throw, and you can throw them pretty damn far. So you can throw them into an enemy position, and it will just appear on your radar like where all the enemy positions are, and it is so goddamn useful you wouldn't believe. You get so many motion mine assists from it, and this was actually one of the things I thought about. I was like, you know, those motion mines in Bad Company 2, they were freaking awesome. I really hope they brought those back. So I'm definitely stoked for playing the Recon class and seeing how that pans out. So if we take a quick look here at the support class, not a great deal of things have been changed. I think the role of a support class is still going to be very similar to how it was in the BF3. So it's going to be, you know, giving your allies ammo. It's also going to be to suppress the enemy, and even more heavily so. As I mentioned in the previous video, suppression is solely going to be an LMG thing, and LMGs only available to the support class. However, there is one very interesting thing that I see here, and it's some sort of a grenade launcher they have. I think it's called the XM25, and it sounds very interesting. If you guys can read the description down there, it says that basically what it is you fire it above a piece of cover that the enemy is hiding behind. The grenade then explodes in midair, and the shrapnel from it will actually kill or damage the enemies that are hiding behind the cover. So with the support class, it's all about getting enemies that are behind cover, and you know, that in conjunction with actually suppressing them. So they first take cover behind an object, and then firing those grenades up in the air above them to take them out. That's quite a nice combination. I'm really looking forward to trying that out and see how that works. One pretty significant change that I've noted for the engineer is actually the category of weapons that you can select. So they still have carbines, shotguns and PDWs, but they've added one more category, and that is DMRs, which stands for Designated Marksman Rifle, I believe. And essentially what they are semi-automatic snipers. So maybe they're taking that away from the Recon class, or maybe they're going to give it to both classes. Maybe both Engineer and Recon are going to be able to use those. It does surprise me a little bit, to be honest, because the Engineers have so much power to take out enemy tanks and enemy armor, enemy you know, vehicles in the air. They can repair vehicles, and they're pretty good with their carbines in close and mid-range combat. So I was like, surely they can't give them a long-range weapon to use as well. That would make them sort of too powerful as a class. So I'm not sure if this is just a thing because it's pre-alpha, or what, but I have definitely seen in some video footage of a guy flicking through the weapon categories for the engineer and also for the assault class actually, that the DMR does pop up. It has 20 rounds in a magazine, its fire mode is semi-auto, so it certainly looks to be a semi-automatic sniper of some sort. Alright, so moving on to the assault class as well as weapon customization at the same time. I'm going to be going more in depth in the weapon customization. As far as I can tell, the assault class has pretty much remained the same as it is right now in Battlefield 3. We haven't seen the defib yet, but DICE have said that all the gadgets at the moment are not final. They haven't fine-tuned anything. They haven't even given us a green light that they have released all the gadgets that will be out in the game yet. You know, we have no idea, so I'm not going to speculate on that. However, with the weapon customization, you now have 4 slots for each gun. So you have your underbarrel slot, you have your barrel, and you have your sight on your weapon, but now you also have an accessory. And for example, the laser sight and the new green laser pointer, they fall under the category of weapon accessory. So you can technically have a foregrip, a heavy barrel, and the laser pointer on there. They've also brought out a couple of new attachments. One of them is the new green laser pointer. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between that and the red laser pointer. I have heard that it's a little bit more difficult to dazzle your opponent with the green laser pointer rather than the red one, but on the flip side, it's also a little bit less easy for the enemy to actually see your position due to your gleaming laser sight. Another thing they've got is a new foregrip. So they have the normal vertical foregrip, which I can only assume reduces side-to-side recoil, as it does in Battlefield 3 at the moment. But they also brought out an angled foregrip, which reduces the recoil of the first shot of your weapon. As you know, in Battlefield, the first shot you fire from your weapon has a rather pronounced recoil, and this angled foregrip is supposed to specifically reduce that. Now, on top of all of that, they have new knives. So no longer do you have just a random, whatever combat knife as default. You can now choose your knife. And the one I've seen in the video is a shank. Not exactly sure what the difference is between that and the normal combat knife, whether it's got a different speed or it does a different amount of damage when you just slice an enemy rather than actually going into the takedown animation. Or whether it's just simply an aesthetics thing and it's just for the looks of it. On top of that, they have a crap load of new camos. So people have been asking for new ways to customize their character and their weapons. We haven't actually seen any character customization, like in terms of clothing or tattoos or anything like that yet. But definitely lots of nice new camos for the weapons. Now, they're also going to have a thing called battle packs, which are supposed to be rewarded to players as they play more and more. And they're supposed to contain a random assortment of camos, dog tags, knives, experience boosts, and more. So it's going to be interesting to see how you get those, whether it's going to be after a certain amount of experience points at leveling up, and what it contains. I hope it's not going to be anything too crazy. That's gonna, make some players better than others. I really doubt they would do that. I think it's just gonna be things that actually make your character look different or look cool in some way. Anyway, guys, that's about it from me for now. Nothing else I can really comment on for the class customization. If you have something to say about it, then feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will be sure to reply to it. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Cheers.